Hi, Tefl-Dude here. Now, if you're like me and you bought the 256 gig Mac Mini, then probably like me, you're left with 43 gigabytes of space from my 256 gig. That's not good. So in this video, I'm going to show you how to move everything, and I mean everything, onto this 2 terabyte external hard drive. Well, not everything really. We're moving the home folder over. So we're moving all our documents, particularly if you are into music, all the Logic Pro files, of which there's about 80 gigabytes. All those are going over there. The only thing that stays on this basic internal hard drive is the apps that come with the installation, because you cannot transfer those. But every other app we install, we can put on that external hard drive. But that doesn't include Logic Pro and GarageBand. They stay here, but all the heavy files, all the large audio files, they go over there. Plus programs like Final Cut Pro, everything can go on the external. So basically, we'll end up with about 176 gig free space on the internal that we never have to use. And if we do, we might use a few gig, that's it. Because all our programs, we can move on to there. So what I have done is I've made this document here showing you the 8 steps we're going to go through in order to create our home folder on the external SSD. Here's a few pages. You can see how very detailed the instructions are. And in fact, the yellow boxes are information, the white boxes are the steps you have to take. It's very detailed. I've included an 8-page bonus on symlinks and aliases, which you need to use to make the links of the apps you have on the external back to the Launchpad. I'm going to make a separate video for that, but I have made a little bit of that video in here. But check out the pages I've made there. Very detailed description. So to be honest, if you didn't want to watch this video at all, you could download that from the respective website, where you pay me a little fee. Goes a long way to helping me. Thank you very much. But it's very detailed, and you wouldn't even have to watch this video. That's how good it is. So let's move on and start moving our home folder. Now, before we get started, you may be advised to do a backup using the time machine function. Have a look at videos for that. Disclaimer for YouTube channel, we're supposed to let you know that we're not professional. I don't have Apple certificate status, and Apple don't want you to do this, but I have done it already and it did work perfectly, which is why I'm making this video. So do so at your own risk, but really, that risks, those who risk, what's the saying? Look, favor the brave. And if you don't risk anything, you're risking everything. So here, what we're going to do, we have 2 admins here. We have the Tefl-Dude and all its workings on the internet. That's going to be pushed over onto the 2 terabyte. But what we need to do is add a backup admin here, because like in your house, in British houses particularly, you open the door and you're in the living room. They're horrible houses. Maybe that's just the old-fashioned ones. But you would build a porch, wouldn't you? So that you can open that door, get in the nice dry porch, and then unlock your house. And that's what's going to happen here. We're going to create a backup hard drive that we have to go into first. That's our porch. And then we're going to unlock the Tefl-Dude on the new hard drive. And the reason we're going to have to do that is we are going to encrypt the Tefl-Dude hard drive on the external, because if we don't, you could plug it into anything and anyone could take your documents. So first of all, let's make that backup hard drive, or porch if you like to call it that. So here, add user, put in password, and it must be admin, obviously, and the full name, I'm going to call it Banjo because it used to be my nickname as a kid, and Banjo starts with the same letter as backup. Yes, very deep philosophy going on here. A new password, It could be the same password as you've got here. Doesn't really matter. And verify this password. And the hint. And then I'm going to create this user. Okay. Now what's going to happen is, in order to activate that, make it live, we're going to have to log out and restart and log into this. And it's going to be like starting up a new setup, but it's going to be quick because we're not going to join the iCloud, or we're not going to register it. Yeah, we can still have the internet, but we're not going to be, our iCloud stays with our Tefl-Dude, or our main user, which is getting pushed over. Notice here I've done a little link here, and you can see already, I'll show you where I've done that once I set up the new Banjo link admin, and you can switch between them very quickly using this method. So let's restart our computer and log into the Banjo. So just move your mouse over the icons and you can see there's the backup one. Okay, so don't worry, your mouse should still work. It's a new installation, but we're not activating anything. We're not going to do anything, set up everything later. We're going to skip everything. Continue. We're going to not share analytics. Continue. Set up later. We're going to definitely not do the Apple Intelligence. That is already on the main drive we've got, the Tefl-Dude. So we're going to skip that. I do like dark, so let's do that. See how quick that was? A lot faster than when you're actually setting up. Let's get started. And there we have it. Now, whenever I open the settings, instead of moving your mouse to go to the top corner and, do that icon thing here, I find it's a lot quicker if you know this shortcut. It's Option F1, and once I do that, it automatically brings up the display area of the settings. I don't want the display, but at least the settings is up. That's the main thing. And now I can scroll down to our users, and there you go. We've got our Banjo backup admin user and the Tefl-Dude user. Now, in our file, if I may just show you, we've restarted login. Excellent, excellent. So we're on time, we're on fire. So in part 2, this part, I just want to show you a quick settings that I like. For instance, I hate the fact that, when you click this, it just disappears. I mean, who likes that? And what is the purpose? If you know, I don't care. Don't tell me. So have a look at this document. I will allow you to see my page 5, which is my personal quick settings. And I like to do those. If you don't, you can skip to the next bit. But if you do, this is going to take 1 minute. Because I came from a Windows PC and I'm normal, I like to do scrolling down and everything should go down. But no, not on Mac. You have to scroll down, it goes up. So to fix that, I just go to my mouse and click on my mouse and say, turn off natural scrolling according to Apple people. What is natural? They're like the most unnatural people ever. Okay, so now I want to make the cursor bigger with a yellow border. It's a bit of a nightmare navigating through this, I know, but go to Accessibility, click on Display Settings, and just scroll down. And there you can see all some nice colors there. And what I want to do is, I want to make the mouse a bit bigger, from normal to 1.5 times normal. And then I'll give this a little yellow edge. So click there, and get rid of that. And then I have that. Now I want to stop that desktop from flashing, doing this stupid. So for that, we have to go to Desktop and Dock, and where it says show items desktop in Stage Manager, it says just say only in Stage Manager. And now when I click away, it doesn't do that stupid thing. So next one, the fast switcher user. Remember here, you don't see my name. It's on the other one, isn't it? The switcher. So we have to add that here. Just go to the menu bar, scroll to the bottom, and click on here, fast switcher, and I'll change that to account name. And there you can see Banjo, and now you can see I can log in to the Tefl-Dude. Easy peasy. So that's that. What else is on the agenda? So that's it for the settings. Now we have to show you, because you can see the 2 terabyte external, right? But you can't see the main hard drive that we should be seeing. So we go to Finder, Settings, and I'll just drag this over here. So click hard drives, and now you can see the hard drive over there. Also, we would like to see, well, I don't like seeing recents. I prefer to see my documents. Also, there's the sidebar, because if you go to Finder, for those of you who are new to this thing, you'll notice it's not showing my music and stuff. So you have to turn those on. And there you go. And I think that's that for there. So let's switch that off. Next, I want to show the library, because when we're doing transfer, some people really would like to see the library in their user folder. So if we go back to our main hard drive, there you can see the library there, but there's also a library in users, both in the Banjo, this one I'm in now, and the Tefl-Dude. So if I click here, you can't see library. You have to go to View, Show View Options, and there you can see Show Library Folder. Now, if you don't see that on here, it can be very confusing, especially if you're in this area, the Macintosh HD. Well, I can't see it. You might get confused. Believe me, it happened to me. What you need to do is either click on the little house Banjo, and then you can see it there. Or if you're here, just go into users, into one of the users, maybe not that one, into the user, and then it shows up library. There you go. Click, and the library is now available to be seen. One more thing I want to show you is the view option, and go to show path bar. And what that does, see, like here, immediately saw that little path. We know we're in the 2 terabyte extension thing. So if I could go in here, then I might see some documents. There you go. And if I click on one, it tells you where it is, etc., etc. Also, I remember I wanted to see sometimes how large these files are. So, for instance, this is 12 megabytes, but I can't tell how many megabytes the folders are. So if you go to View and Show View Options, you can then see where it says last modified, last created, and at the bottom, calculate all sizes. And look at that. That is awesome. So now I know that in this folder, there's only 13 kilobytes. So if you want to transfer material over to the external, it's good to know that this is 4 gigabytes and this is 12. That's getting thrown over. In fact, all of this gets thrown over anyway, because anything in the documents, the downloads, those folders, they're going to the external, our new home folder. So that's part 2 done. And now we need to clean up our external SSD and get it ready for our new folder transfer. Okay, now before I do this step 3, we're going to log out of the Banjo file and go back into the Tefl-Dude. But look how quick I can do it now. I can just click this, put in my password. Ta-da! I can jump between the two. How cool is that? So now we can do step 3. We're going to clean this terabyte drive. This is the easiest part ever. You can see I've got loads of structures on it because this was my external hard drive. Back in the day when I moved, literally, we were running it off the external. But now this video is being made because we can't use AI on a totally external drive, but we can use it on an external home folder, which is great news. So this has to be destroyed. So in order to erase this external hard drive, Command space, type disk, and you can see disk utility is the first one it wants to use. Put in my password, and don't erase this. This is your hard drive. Don't do that. This is the external one. It's written there. And what we want to do is make sure we erase it with APFS. It's here. You've got APFS. I'll leave it with the same name. It's okay. But if you see other people showing you how to do this, and you say, wait a minute, they've got more options. Well, just click here, show all devices, and you can see they give you a bigger tree with branches, as you may say. Make sure you go to the top of the tree, not one of these branches. And when you click erase this time, you see you get option of GU partition map. But that's okay, and we're going to rename it what it is there anyway, which is 2TBEXT. There you go. And I will erase everything. Now this might take some time because it's 2 terabytes. So I'll pause and we'll come back when it's finished. Now it popped up asking, do you want to use this as a time machine backup? No, because hopefully you've already done that. This is not going to be the case. So here we've finished. Our container is ready to be used. Now, before we do anything else, in part 3a, you can see there it says, copy the user folder structure in order to do the magic. So let me just get rid of that notification. And in here, I want to show you here, you've got the 4 files, okay? And what we want to do is, I'll just try and make them bigger here. And what we want to do is copy what's this user folder. So in the user folder, you've got Banjo Backup and the Tefl-Dude. We want to copy this one in there. In order to do that, we have to make the same kind of tree structure. See here, users and Tefl-Dude. So we want to do that. So open that and just simply right click here, new folder. And then inside there, here, new folder. So it must be the same kind of method as the other one. So you've got users and then Tefl-Dude. So, and what's going to happen is all of these files, everything, even the hidden files are going to go over there using this copy cloner. By the way, if you want to see all the hidden files, here's a keyboard shortcut, is Shift Command full stop. And you can see all of those hidden files in the Tefl-Dude folder are going over. We don't need to see that. It will happen. So now we're down to step 4. We're going to download and install the CCC7. It's a free software. I did download it already. So if I go to my downloads folder here, here it is, Carbon Copy Cloner. And it's free for 30 days, but we only need it for 1 day, as you will. So we're going to open it, move it to the applications folder, and agree. Now, you may notice there in my instructions, it says that, you know, we download, we run it the first time. It says, please accept these preferences. And then it closes and you have to run it the second time. That's just the way it is. It's foolproof, really. So we'll go with the trial. And we will try to do it. It says here, notification badges. you can open that and say, yeah, send me notification badges. But there's going to be more pop-ups, okay? Now, we want to choose, make sure you do this properly. We want to choose the folder, not the documents folder. We want to go to our Macintosh and we want to copy this folder, the Tefl-Dude one. So we're going to copy that into there. And the same here. We've got our external one and we want, again, just the Tefl-Dude, not the word users, just the Tefl-Dude into there. So all of that is going to go in there. But it's not going to go in now because once I press start, it will say, no, you've got to do this and that and the other and restart. Okay, open system settings and login in order to turn this on. Yeah. It's a bit of a pain, but at least it works at the end of the day. So I'll close that. I'll click on here. Yep, that's done. Hopefully there's nothing else I need to do. Privacy and security, I've got to open that again. And here another one, you have to allow it full disk access. Which kind of makes sense. See, quit and reopen. This is why it's happening a second time. We'll just say don't check. Trial again. See, we have to go through all this rigmarole. And now it's doing it by itself. Yeah, it remembers what we did. It's going to work. It's that simple. And in a minute, we're going to have all your folders moved over there. And then we're going to log into that Tefl-Dude. Or should we call it the new Tefl-Dude? So here we are. Backup successful. So now we have two of them. So here's one. Let's have a look. Ta-da! There's all the folders. Let's just see. I just want to compare the how big the files are. So first of all, I'll just right click here, go to get info. That one says 52 gigabytes. Right click this one, get info, 51 gigabyte. Don't worry if there's a bit less or a bit more. It's because of cache files, yada, yada, yada. You don't need to know that. So everything is hunky-dory there. We've done our crossover setup. And now we just need to go to part 5. Change the directory to the new SSD. So while we're still here, we're still in the Tefl-Dude on the internal one. Okay, we're still here in the internal. But we want to change it to the external. So the way to do that is, so I'm just going to open the settings with the quick option F1 keystroke, as you know, sends me to displays. Go to the user groups, and here, Banjo is our admin, so that stays there. But this one, we right click, go to advanced options, and this time, we're looking for its new home. Because remember, we got a second home, just like those British Prime Ministers. So the home directory says here, users Tefl-Dude, but we want to choose a different one. Ignore this, go down to where it says your external 2 terabytes. There it is. There's our users. And we simply click on the Tosh name, remember? And click open. And you can see the volume name has changed from just users Tefl-Dude to volume external users Tefl-Dude. Okay. And see, once we've done that, it says, well, you've got to restart the computer because you no longer live here. You have to go to your new home. Okay. And it says here, now, part of this is because, remember we did the switchy brew? We're in kind of both at the same time. So it's always good to log out of one before you do work on the other one. So let's just do that. So it says the name. Now I'm in the Tefl-Dude one here. So I'll put Tefl-Dude and the password for that. Now at the moment we can go straight into the Tefl-Dude. We don't have to go into the backup user here. We'll only have to do that once we've encrypted it for that reason. So here, let's type on the Tefl-Dude, see if I can get in. And there I am in my new home. Oh, so nice. Everything's in the same place. So let's click out of here. Everything's done. Yeah, check automatically. I don't care. I'm going to literally after this, I'm going to just delete it, throw it in the bin. Don't need to use it anymore. Because it won't let me close, just press the magic Command Q and then it disappears and closes. Because that's the way Mac does things. So that is step 5 done. We're nearly there. We only got to get to step 8. Now here you can see different folder structure. We're missing applications. You do have to make that yourself in order for the App Store to download to it. So let's do that. New folder. Okay, so I've created our new folder and now the App Store will know where to go. Don't believe me? Let's check it out. Anything over 1 gig, it will download to there. Anything less than a gig, it goes to the other file system. So I'm just going to download this PDF, which is over a gig. But before I do that, go to the App Store settings and you can click here, download and install to our 2 terabyte folder. Anything over a gig, automatically there. And if you don't believe me, let's watch the magic happen. I'll open this, open our applications in this way, and let's see what happens. See, ta-da, it just popped up. Boom. So I'll let that download, show it you in a minute. And yeah, we could open it, but we don't want to waste time. Okay, so you notice on the applications here, it should be just after passwords PDF, but it's not there. But I will show you how to get a link to it because you don't want to drag a gigabyte file. But what happens when we download a file that's only 800? You know, I don't want to keep downloading 800 gigabyte files and them sitting on my internal drive. Well, you can just download them and throw them over to the other side. Watch this. This one is 800. And when we click it, you'll notice that it is going to be installed in the main internal. And you'll know that because look, it says here at the bottom, the app, and it's going to jump up once it's completed. See, popped up. Hello, it says. So that's there, and there it is, PDF Reader. Now I will show you how to make the links. I have put it in the document, very easy to do, not using symlinks, funnily enough. There's a much better way using the automator, this machine guy down here at the bottom. Where is he, the automator? There he is at the top. So there's a much easier way using that. So we've got our apps here. This app, like I said, I can just throw it in here. Whee! There you go. And now we've got 2 apps, both the same file size. See, that one is 800 and so is this one. But I don't need 2, so let's just throw one away, this one. We may not be able to delete it because we're not in that file structure. So if I try to go Command backspace and say delete password, it allowed me. Oh, that was nice of it. So I'm not using up space. And this still works. Now I will show you how to get the links in there later. So maybe an advice would be just grab the applications folder and put it here. You know, put it very close to the bin here. You know, it makes more sense. You can click on here and there they all are and make it into a grid. That's nicer. Look at that. And they're there. So, you know, I like I said, in the document, it shows you how to morph them over there. I'll make a little video of that as well, including symlinks. But for this video, it might get on too long because the main thing in our structure now is to move the Logic Pro sound files, because they're big. They're the 80 gig files, you know? Now, if I go to About This Mac, you can see how much I've saved already. It says 46 gig available. So I haven't saved anything, you might be thinking. Well, that's because you haven't deleted the home folder. So what we have to do now is we need to log back in to our backup and delete that Tefl-Dude folder that has 50 gig. So click up here, go back here. Okay, now we're in our backup folder, and what we simply need to do is open our hard drive, and remember we have to delete the user, not the banjo, that's our backup. This is our porch where we live, but this one we can delete. Command, and you have to be in this backup to do it. It may not allow you to do it from the other place. Remember, it's still in the bin. So we have to empty the bin, but you don't have to worry because you've backed everything up, I presume. And now if you have a look at my gigabytes, I've got 95 gig available instead of 40. That's because 50 was in all the files, the downloaders, documents. But now we're going to save another 80 or 90 by moving the Logic profiles over. This is probably, for some of you, you may have hit a wall, as I did, but I found the answer. So make sure that you've already downloaded GarageBand and Logic Pro together. If you've just done Logic Pro and you do GarageBand later, it's a big file, it'll go into the external and things might get confused. Both of them are best to be installed here on the main drive. So we don't need to open GarageBand to do this transfer. We just need to open Logic Pro, because I'll just show you the two files here, just where they live. I just want to show you where they live. So in the library system, they actually hide in a separate folder in the library. And I want to show you them both because I want to show you how here no library is visible to you at the moment. There's just these two folders. But once we transfer it through Logic Pro, it will create that library. So you don't have to do anything. And here, if you go library, it's always in application support. You can see GarageBand and Logic. The only other place where you might need to transfer things later, if you wish to, I don't, is in the application support. No, here in this audio part. But that only has about 11 gigabytes or something. It's not worth it. I just leave it there. But if you want to, you can make a link over there. I'll show you in my document how that can be done using symlinks. So let's leave this structure up because I want you to see it evolve. And let's open up the Logic Pro. Here's Logic Pro. So now we're going to move them over, and this does take some time, but this space you're going to save, like, wow. So over here, relocate sound library. Now this is where people run into problems, because what might happen here, it says Logic Pro wants to access the volumes. Okay, allow. And you see here, it says do not have rights access, or you do not have access rights. That bothered me. I was so stressed. But I've got the answer for you. Yay. So let's cancel that. Now, you can't change it while this is still open. That won't work. Command Q, close this out, and don't save. Now, it's all to do with the file structure and sharing. And in our external file, what we have to do is go to Get Info. And over here, it says at the bottom, Sharings and Permission. And here you have to unlock this. Okay, so we're going to unlock it. So remember, I've clicked this button where it says Ignore Ownership Rights. We're going to open Logic again. And this time, watch. Sound Library, Relocate Sounds. Ta-da! We've got The 1 terabyte is available, and we're going to press relocate. But before we do, I just want you to see here how this folder gets created here. I'm going to click relocate and see what happens. And you'll see them actually create a link. What it's going to do is going to create a link here. It's going to take them from here and create a link there. That's going to be interesting. So let's do relocate. See? Ta-da! It just created a little library folder there. Application support, Logic. Ta-da! And here, it's eventually going to change that logic to a little symlink. So we'll leave these open. And so it's going really fast. I'm going to pause the video until it's finished, which might not be long. You can see there, it just created the GarageBand folder as well. Ooh, and that's got about 30 gigs worth in it. And we don't have to delete anything. They are literally deleting it for us. Okay, that's finished. Did you see that? There was a little hop there. If I make those a bit bigger just for you to see, make them look like this. Library, application support, and there you can see the GarageBand with a little black arrow. That means it's a link. So there's nothing in there. If I right click the Logic and go get info, it's 50 bytes, whatever that is. It's nothing. It's nothing. Whereas over here, if I right click get info for Logic, it's 75 gigabytes. Woo! So that means I have now got 175 gigabytes free. How cool is that? So the one thing you have to do after all of this is you can check all the other applications are running. They do run. And the one thing is to encrypt this drive. Remember, just before you go, right click this and encrypt it. So remember the banjo or the backup is our porch. We have to go in there and into the house. And same when we leave, we exit here, we log out here. So now I click on this and go into the backup just to be familiar, because once you've encrypted the Tefl-Dude, you won't be able to go directly in there. You will have to go through your backup or your porch, as we called it. And so we'd go in here. And when it's encrypted, up would pop a black link saying, please type in the password for the terabyte SSD, and we would do that. And then we would go in there, and then we could just swap like this. So do encrypt your data in case, like say, you leave it on a train or somewhere, or you've got something important, particularly music. And that's it. So I'll stop there, and remember, I hope you've enjoyed this video. Do give it a like and subscribe, and I hope to see you on the next video.